if there were additional people accepting contributions into the repository, then it just starts to, well, or at least I assume it starts to deteriorate more. So if there are core developers, there has to be some sort of well, sort of like with Linux, a rather strict regime on how it works, how these changes get accepted.
Right. We're about ready to enter that with Nagios, with additional developers, and I think it's true though what you said. I mean, I think it's really important. I mean, people have come and gone with Nagios as far as contributors, and I look at it, and it's really tough to stay with a project for a long period of time. How long have you been involved? I mean, it's been years.
I started in '95.
Yeah, because I was using MRTG before I started working on Nagios. I mean, I know it's been a long time.
And 1991, basically.
Yeah.
Who stays on? And it's also clear to me because people change job. When you're not using MRTG in your job anymore, why on earth should you continue contributing to MRTG or RRDTool or whatever? Because it's not. Unless you're somehow brain damaged or whatever, but normally that's the motivation to do that. Or you're using it somehow in your house for monitoring environments. But normally, yeah, people move on. That's just a fact. Unless they're paid.
Right, and that's one of the benefits of actually having a commercial conflict of interest. In a way, it's that if someone's being paid to develop, they're in it. They're going to stick around, and there's more of a guarantee, I think, that they're going to be involved. So.
I think with some of the commercial vendors, I think the problem is that, which also gives the open source and commercial a bad name, that some of them, they don't actually understand the core of the product they're selling. They sell support for something which they couldn't fix themselves. They can fix easy things, but they're not core developer of Nagios, but they sell Nagios support. And when Nagios is really broken, then they can't fix it. And that obviously then gives a bad name to commercial support. Whereas the real open source guy, if I ask Ethan directly, he can help me because he knows his stuff.
Well, in some cases, the commercial vendors, even though they provide support for it, some of them don't actually contribute much back to the core products that they actually make use of. There are some good examples of companies that do actually, that through various means, provide support or assistance to the projects they use, but a lot of them don't. And it surprises me actually, because if I were to build a business based on other people's products, I would want to make sure that I had the support of those other people, because if I'm basing my business on their stuff, I would want to make sure it's
I think to an extent, this is I think with my open source projects, I always try to emphasize that it's me. So people normally know when they're using one of my open source tools, because I splash my name wherever I can. Whereas for some things, like libc, glibc, very important. I have no idea who does that and how he thinks. And is it one guy? Is it a company? No idea, but it's core. And so for some open source projects, especially in the infrastructure area, this is very obscure to me, because those guys